Today is Halloween, and it is a great, great day. Oh, wow. October for us was one of the best months ever in the history of board gaming on the internet. We have completed something that I don't think will ever be duplicated. We didn't even try to really do it quickly, but we played, as we talked about, forever now. Last 6 months, pressure. We're going to play 100 brand new board games. Brand new, never before played on the channel. We're going to play 100 brand new games here on the channel. And we kept working towards it. And on October 7th, I think it was the 7th, it was either the 6th or 7th, because we were leaving. We were going to Montana for 5-6 days. I wanted to try and get it done before that. And we did. We were able to do it. October was a huge month for us. We were gone for 5-6 days. I forget. It was 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and maybe, I think we were back on the 12th. So I think it was 5 days we were gone. And we still crushed it. Absolutely freaking crushed it this month. So let's look at what we did. October 2023, Called Adventure Epic Origins, Brass Lancashire, Neuroshima Hex 3.0, Shadowrun Crossfire, Great Western Trails, Argentina, Maneuver, Australia, Stalingrad, Advance to the Volga, Halls of Hegra, Earth, Steam, and then the special 100 Dale of Merchant Collection was our 100th game on our channel. Then we had the Dark Souls, the card game. Actually, before that we had Inside Pitch, then Cascadia. Then Dark Souls, the card game was 101. Inside Blitz. Then we did Glory Days College Football for 102. Arkham Horror, a living card game. Payoff Pitch, Stratomatic Baseball. B-29 Super Fortress, Bombers over Japan for 103. Command and Colors, Napoleonics for 104. And then Triple Play Baseball. That was being gone for 5 days, and we still did 24 different games. And of those 24 different games, we actually played Inside Pitch 4 times. We played Payoff Pitch 3 or 4 times. And we played Dead of Winter twice or 3 times. I forget, 2 or 3 times in there. So we played we played 24 different games, but we played, it was a lot. But I talked about it in September. Our goal was to try and get this done so we can just, and you can see October, once we got it done, the pressure was off. We got to relax, play whatever we wanted to play. It didn't matter if it was a new game or not. We still added a few new extra games, but we also played Inside Pitch. We played Inside Blitz. We played Payoff Pitch. We played a lot of sports games because, we didn't have a lot of new sports games, so not a lot of our 100 brand new games for sports games. 2 of them were, but the other 98 weren't. So we got to play a little bit of sports games because now it's like, okay, now we can just play what we want to play. Let's take a look at what we did, shall we? There it is. There's our list. We're currently sitting at 104 games, new games this year. And there's the list that, what we were working on. Like I said, it's a matter of wanting to get a lot of new games to play because in 2024, when we have our top 100 games of all time, I want to see if there's any new games that are going to jump on the list. I would not I can guarantee, of all the people on the internet, I can guarantee that there is a select few people that have gotten 100 brand new games on their channel this year. I can't imagine there are more than a handful of YouTube channels that are going to put 100 different games on their channel. Now, that's 100 new games for me. That's not even including all the ones like you see right here, like Called Adventure. Didn't count because we already played it. Brass Lancashire didn't count because we already played it. Dead of Winter. So all those ones in black were just for funsies. They didn't count for anything, but I still wanted to play them, get them out, and try them out. Because I didn't want to just play brand new game after brand new game after brand new game, because you need a break once in a while. But we did it. I can't imagine there's too many people out there that have put 100 different games on their channel, let alone 100 brand new games, and did it within 282 days. I might be the only one out there. Am I crazy? Probably. But there you go. That's what we did in October. Let's get to the awards. And wow. Wow is all I have to say. I can't believe we did it. You work towards a goal and you just put your foot down, and it shows that, you just spend a little time, effort. You can do it if you put your mind to it. You guys can do it. If I can play 100 brand new games in 282 days, I know you can play 10. I know you can play 10. And that's our challenge. Our War Room Challenge. Play 10 games in 1 year. You create a list. You give us the list. You play those 10 games in a year. You can win a prize. You can win games. We give away 20, 30 games, or maybe not that many. We've given away about 20 or 30 games, but we give away like 5, 6 games a year to people for just playing 10 games. How simple is that? If you're not sure what I'm talking about, head over to our Facebook group, Tack Up Wargaming, and you can find out more details there. Because come January 27th is going to be the cutoff day. January 27th, you have got to get your list to us of 10 games you're going to be playing. Of course, it's the War Game Challenge, so you have to have 10 war games on your list. We'll get to that, and when we talk in our December/January, it's kind of for a different time. Anyways, if I can do 100 brand new games, I know you guys can do 10. I know it. Let's move on. So, let's talk about best new games of the month, October 2023. Let's go through our list one more time really quickly. So we had, because I don't know if I even went through it properly. We had Call to Adventure Epic Origins. Great. Build your own kind of character with some, like a campaign mode with, kind of a little bit of adding cards, open the envelope and add cards. So it's kind of interesting. And I enjoyed it a lot. I'm going to be playing part 2 of that, hopefully, soon. Brass Lancashire. I mean, what can you say? It's brass with great mechanics and the solo AI bot, which does a pretty good job. Neuroshima Hex. Interesting tactical hex grid system with different factions. Definitely not great solo, I will say that. I had a lot of fun doing it, but it's one of those games where you have to think about your faction and learn your faction, and then you go up against your opponents. Not great for solo, but it's a great little game. Shadowrun Crossfire, total waste of time. One of the worst games that we played all year. We can go in and we can talk about that at some point, but Shadowrun Crossfire, don't bother. Great Western Trail Argentina. Great Western Trail, the newer game of the system, Argentina. Surprisingly disappointed in that game, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Maneuver, great game by GMT. It is a chess/checkers with some card play mechanics in Napoleonic eras with different factions. So, yes, please sign me up. It's awesome. It's great. Australia. We've finally gotten to the table. We heard a lot about it. It's a solo game. Whew, it's good. It is really good. Stalingrad, Advance to the Volga. Meaty little game. Holy cow, this is a meaty little game. And, unfortunately, almost too random on the setup. And you can run into bad situations, which we ran into, where it's just like impossible to break through. And it can be a little frustrating in that regard. Because the enemies you can run into could be easy, could be hard, or it can be impossible. And if you run into impossible right off the bat, So, not a great fan of that system. Halls of Hegra, lovely little game. War-themed Euro worker placement game. Awesome design. Glad we picked it up, and we're going to talk about that one later as well. Dead of Winter, and one of the things I did while I was playing my 100 new games was also create a solo system for Dead of Winter. I've got 28, I think, 28 different cards. I haven't introduced it to everyone because I'd like to get like 60 or so cards. So that way there's a nice variety on how the game works against you. So that probably is coming sometime in the next month or two when I get a chance to work on some more cards. Earth, the hottest game on the planet, and knock on wood, no joke there. It is literally the hottest game on the planet Earth. Great game, terrible, horrible components. And even the cards are cheaply made, which is very disappointing because I was really looking forward to this game. It probably would have been played 2, 3, 5, 10 times by now if it wasn't for these shabby components. Steam, surprise little hit there. It was a great little find, a good pickup, and we got some of the expansions and everything for it already. Played it a couple times, which we completely butchered the rules. And so now, haven't even played it like one official good time because I missed the rule. And I couldn't figure out why all of the factions were having trouble earning money. Turns out they can earn 2 routes in one turn as opposed to 1 route, which gives them a lot more money. Dale of Merchant Collection, which is an interesting deck building mechanical game with factions that do different special abilities. And very interesting game, very interesting idea where you're just deck building and you're trying to build your 8 different piles from 1 up to 8 using the different numbers of the cards in your deck. So there's ways to thin out your deck by playing the cards out, but you're losing the special abilities of those cards and a lot of strategy in that. Again, probably not the greatest game solo. I don't think there is a solo mode for it. We played it two-handed. It plays okay. It's just not as interesting as it could be. Inside Pitch, great, awesome game. One of my favorite baseball games out there. Cascadia, lovely little worker placement, tableau building mechanism thing. Great game, I love it. Dark Souls, the card game. Surprisingly, not thrilled to play it, but after I got done playing it, I thought, this is pretty interesting. There's a lot of kind of interesting ways that you do things and some different mechanics. Your health is part of your cards. And going through your cards can be good because you want to get the better cards in play. It's interesting. It's might not make it to the channel a lot, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Inside Blitz, great game. Glory Days College Football. I mean, you don't have very many board and card and dice college football games. So anytime you can get one, and I'm a big college football fan, as you can probably tell. And so it's made by a good friend of the channel, Bleacher Bumps Gaming, who also does Glory Days Boxing. It was Gory Days Boxing was our January and February sports game of the month. And Gory Days College Football, made by the same guy, College Football, which we loved. So I loved it. It was awesome. I highly recommend you check out our playthroughs. Arkham Horror Living card game was awesome. We got to play with Phoenix Knight. We played it live and in person for you guys here. The two of us hooked up on Tabletop Simulator. Had a great time playing it. We were going to try and get together and do some more stuff. Payoff Pitch, probably my number 3 or 4 favorite baseball sim. It's great. And the more I play it now, the more I can kind of forego some of the some of the downfalls with the system. I can kind of overlook some of those. The more you play it, the more you can kind of see and understand what they're trying to do and accept it, I guess. Stratomatic baseball, it's what can you say? It's Stratomatic baseball. I've said a lot about it on my channel through the years. It's a great game, great system. I hate the cards. I hate buying it, and I hate dealing with the company, but the game is fun and interesting. B-29 Super Fortress, Bombers over Japan. Part of the Target for Today, Target for Tonight system, you would think is going to be just up my alley, but like one simple rule, like the locations that you fly through, normally there's some kind of adjustment on them, but can't find any rules anywhere on whether or not there is an adjustment on that. So it took some of the enjoyment away because of that one very important rule, which should be in big, bold letters. You can't find it anywhere in the rule book. So god damn, people, designers, put your goddamn rules in the rule book. That's what a rule book is for. Like, your most important rule should be front and center. You should not have to fucking try to spend 20 minutes trying to find it. God, how many times do I have to explain this to these people? I swear to God. 23, Command & Colors Napoleonics. It's Command & Colors. We love the system. Napoleonics. We love Napoleonics. There's nothing bad to say. And then Triple Play Baseball, we just picked that up tonight. We got a bunch of 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004 playoff teams. And we're playing some more Triple Play Baseball. Great underrated baseball sim. Probably in my top 3 or 4 of all time that nobody else plays and nobody else talks about for some reason. Anyways, those were what we did. We played multiple times as an inside pitch, multiple times of playoff pitch, multiple times of college, Gory Days college football. So lots of, 24 different games. We probably played 30 or 35 total games. Whew. So there you go. So that is that. Let's go on and move on to our awards for the month. Best New Game of the Month, October 2023. And you know what? I don't think I... All right. So I got to make some slight adjustments as I decided to do this slightly different. And now, there we go. All right. Let's get rid of this one and fix this up. I'm going to do this. Thank you. Lovely. All right, I'm just fixing up. I fixed the other ones. I just forgot to fix this one. So, best new games of the month. Again, the new games are the ones listed in red. Hiroshima Hex, Shadowrun Crossfire, Great Western Trail, Argentina, Maneuver, Australia, Stalingrad, Advance to the Volga, Halls of Hegra, Earth, Steam, Dale of Merchant Collection, Dark Souls the card game, Gory Days College Football, B-29 Super Fortress bombers over Japan, and Command and Conquer's Napoleonics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 new... What? 14 new games on the channel again. We're crazy. Holy cow. And we had some great ones. Command and Conquer Napoleonics. Dark Souls, the cool card game. I already talked about how impressed I was with that game. Glory Days College Football. As I already talked about a little bit, saying good things about that game. And Australia, which was a surprise hit for me. All of these were great, but only one can be best new game of the month. And which one is it going to be, my friends? It is going to be Glory Days College Football. It is exceptionally good. Again, this is one of these games. It gets more points because, number one, you don't see many cards and dice college football games. It's a lot of work and effort to try and create one and trying to put one together. And you got 130 some teams that you gotta put a bunch of stats and ratings and everything. So it's a lot of work to put just one season out. And so he gets extra points because, yes, there's not a lot. This isn't just your everyday deck building game or your everyday worker placement game. This is a game, you're not going to see a game like this again out there. So, I mean, you should give credit where credit is due. He is a good friend of the channel, which also, I've known Bleacher Bum Gaming for probably 10 years now. And I don't know him personally other than talking with him and, dealing with him and emailing him and stuff like that. I don't know him personally. We've never met. But he's a good friend of the channel, and I support those that support me. So, Glory Days College Football, highly recommend it. And I would recommend, if you enjoy your sports games, if you enjoy any kind of gaming, the one thing about sports games I will say, and I will scream this from the top of the highest mountain. A lot of people poo-poo sports games, and I can understand why. I don't follow sports. I'm not into them, this, that, and the other thing. But the one thing sports games are they play great solo. So if you are a solo gamer and you have any interest in any sport, you should try a few sports games out there because you might actually like them. And even if you're just kind of him-haw, like, I watch a little bit of football or I watch a little bit of baseball or whatever, you as a solo gamer should try some sports games. I know a lot of people poo-poo them. They don't, they are a lot of time, a lot of investment, a lot of money, and yes, all that is true, but there is a lot of enjoyment, and they play great solo. So just keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. Just keep that in mind. All right, that was best new game. Move on. Biggest surprise of the month, September 20. Well, let's fix that real quick because it's not September. It's October, right? Last time I checked. Yeah, I forgot to do that when I was, doing my stuff. So, biggest surprises, we had 2 really good and 2 really bad. Great Western Trail Argentina is on here because it was the biggest surprise for kind of a disappointment. I love Great Western Trail. You guys know I love Great Western Trail. This has got a weird part of the game. Great Western Trail is dealing with your hand of cards as you move down the trail. That's part of the game in Great Western Trail. And what you're trying to do is get the best hand of cards that you can, so when you arrive at your destination, you get a lot of points and you can send them off to the farthest lands so you get the most victory points, the most money, the most rewards, blah, blah, blah. In Great Western Trail, they do this weird mechanic where you're using the cards in your hands to do things with some of the cowboys on the board, which means if you do this, you're going to get random cards put into your hand. So when you arrive at your destination, you don't have the best hand of cards that you could possibly have because you've wasted your best cards you've had as you've been traveling down the trail, which is so weird because it's dumb. Why would they do that? They basically ruined Great Western Trail. I can't believe it. They basically have taken Great Western Trail, the one key element that they use, and they have completely changed it in Argentina to take that element away. So it's on here because it's a surprising, dumb maneuver, and it basically, I did not enjoy Great Western Trail at all compared to the Great Western Trail that I love. Halls of Hegra is on here because of 2 thumbs up. This is a great game, great system. It's awesome. It's fun. It plays great solo, obviously, since it's a solo design. It's a worker placement with a lot of deep strategy in what you're going to do. There's a little bit of bag building. There's a little bit of worker placement. There's a little bit of pressing your luck. There's a lot of really cool elements that kind of all come together really well in Halls of Hegra. Number 3, Earth is on here because of bad. Again, great game, horrible components. Oh my God, horrible. The cards are cheaply made. The little things that stack up don't even stand properly up on them. It's just not. The cards aren't even like normal 3.5 by 2.5 inch size. They're like this weird size. They're not even like normal size poker cards. So they don't even feel right in your hand. It just is not. It's a $45 game that feels like a $20 game, to be honest. The great mechanics and the great idea, but and a ton of cards. You get a ton of cards. There's like 200 or 300 cards in the game. So it gives you a lot of variability, but it's just cheaply made. It's just not very impressive. Maneuvers on here, again, for 2 thumbs up. So we had 2 thumbs up and 2 thumbs down. Maneuvers on here because I think this is one of these underrated little gems that, because this game has been out of print for 13 years, I think it was 2008, so it's been out of print for like 13 years. Not only do people hear about it, not only do people know, it's back on the P500 at GMT. It's got like 35 people on it. It's never going to be reprinted again, probably in my lifetime. I doubt it. I hope it would be, because then other people would get to try it and play it. It's a great little fun kind of checkers, 8x8 grid, and you're moving your pieces around based upon the cards that you play. War game. Each faction has different cards in their deck. It's a standard 40 card deck or 60 card deck or whatever it is, but each deck is slightly different. And it's interesting because based upon what you decide to do and how you do it, you're going to try to outwit and outmaneuver, hence the name, your opponent. And it's great. So which one wins biggest surprise? Which of these was the biggest surprise? That is a great question. The answer is Halls of Hegra is my biggest surprise. As much as I want to complain about Earth and Great Western Trail, I would rather sing the praises of Halls of Hegra because this is a fun, great little game. Unfortunately, from what I understand, they didn't go to. I got on the Kickstarter, and if you got on the Kickstarter, obviously you got the game, but they never went to retail edition. So unless they're reprinting it, maybe because it's been very popular, a lot of people really like it. Hopefully they will print it and bring it to retail for most people out there. I don't think you can even get your copy, which is a shame because it's really, really fun. It's really interesting. And if you like war themed stuff, It's got the war theme, but that's about all it's got for war. It's mostly Euro mechanics, Euro this, Euro that, kind of. Again, it's got a little bag building, a little worker placement, a little pressure lock, a little, location. What do you do with your people? And then, of course, some card draw. So there's a little bit of Euro everything in there. And it's a great little fun game. Now, best overall game of the month. September, again, I forgot. It's not September. It's October. Let's change that. All right, there. Boom. See, it only takes us a second. There we go. Our choices are Australia, which I talked about being like my surprise hit of the month already. Steam, which is like, I love train games. For some reason, you wouldn't think I would like train games, but for some reason, I love train games. And Steam is a really good train game. And I was supposed to get together with Lower Slower Board Gamer and play this remotely because he saw me play it. He got a copy, and so we were going to set it up, but we never got around to doing that yet. Hopefully sometime soon. It's a great little train game. Doesn't play great solo, so keep that in mind. Brass Lancashire, Call to Adventure Epic Origins. What was my best overall game of the month? Surprise, surprise. Brass Lancashire. First of all, the Brass system, the Brass games are awesome. The Birmingham and Lancashire. Most people, if you know anything about board games, you know that Brass Birmingham is now the number one board game of all time. It surpassed Gloomhaven even. I like Lancashire even better than Birmingham. I probably play Lancashire a lot more than I have played Birmingham. That's maybe why I like it. I also like the underdog, so that's possibly why I like it as well. But you can't go wrong with either one of them. As much as I enjoyed Call to Adventure Epic Origins, Steam in Australia, the Atoma that they made for these games are really, really good. You can play it solo. It's a little bit of work, but not a lot. A little bit of work, not a lot. And it plays pretty decently, almost like an opponent. They give you a little bit of run for your money, although we ended up kicking the AI's ass. I mean, that's just because I'm awesome. But yes, we love this game. And without a doubt, it is going to be in our top 100 of all time for a long, long time. It's a great game. And it's great when it beats Australia, Steam, and Call to Adventure, which, to be honest, any one of these four could have won Best Overall Game of the Month. I had a great time with all those. If you don't own any of those, I would recommend you pick up all four of them. But if you can only afford like one, I would say, if you're a solo player, I would say get Australia first. If you are a normal gamer and you play solo and with other people, then I would get Brass Lancashire first. So that would be my choices. I mean, you can go wrong with all of them. Let's go. What we did on October 2023. So we talked about doing a lot of the games. We talked about doing A Touch of Evil, Liberty or Death, The American Revolution, Tricheron, Status Pro Baseball, Command and Color, Napoleonics, Nemesis, This War of Mine, and Steam. We were able to knock out a few of those. Status Pro Baseball, boom, gotcha. Command and Color, Napoleonics, gotcha. And of course, Steam, gotcha. But we didn't get around to getting A Touch of Evil, Liberty or Death, Nemesis, This War of Mine, and Tricheron. So, coming up in November now, we're going to add those back to the list, but we're going to add 3 new games to supplement the ones that were removed from the list. They're going to be Alien, Fate of the Nostromo, Downfall, Conquest of the Third Reich, and Wilderness War. So that is, those are some of the games that we're looking forward to playing in November 2023. October was, it is, everything is off the table now. We've completed our goal, 100 brand new games in 282 days. We completed our goal, so now we got all of November and all of December, 2 months left of the year where we can play whatever we want to play. We can just play as much as we want. We can play Touch of Evil 5 times in a row if we wanted to. We can play Payoff Pitch. We kind of, this is the one thing I found out was in August, September, and October especially, the pressure was on to try and complete this. And it was a full-fledged forward where every time I played something, it was like, if I'm not playing a brand new game, I'm wasting my time. I have to get, a new game, and then play an old one. And then a new game, and a new game, and a new game, and then an old one. But that's a lot of new games to be put into the channel, and a lot of new games to learn, and a lot of rules to understand, and a lot of work to be done. And so when it happened, when we completed our objective, it was like the weight of the earth shifted, and now it's like, wow, I can do anything I want anytime I want now. I don't have rules. I don't have somebody saying you should do this, you should do that. I can do whatever I want, which is awesome. It's set me free. I've got November and December, 2 months. We didn't even once we got to 100, we done 101, 102, 103, 104, but it was just randomly doing it. Of these games you see right there, every game that you see there, Touch Evil, Liberty or Death, Triqueron, Wilderness War, Downfall, Nemesis, This War of Mine, and Alien, Fate of the Nostromo, actually, every one of these is a brand new game. So if we play any of them, we're just going to add to our list of games that we've played. So if we get all, 2, 4, 5, 6, if we get all 8 of these, it's another 8 we can add to our list. Wow, October was a hell of a month. It was huge. It was all important, as I talked about, completing our objective. I never thought we were going to get to 100, but you would be surprised when you put your mind to it what you can accomplish. And man, we did it, and I can't believe that we did it. I still can't believe we did it. But we have, and we're going to get another, we've been averaging 10 to 14 new games a month. If we get another 10 in November and another 10 in December, we're going to be up in 125, 130 new games in a year. That's insane. I think most channels out there, board game channels, if they're doing maybe 30 games a year, maybe, if that, 30 to 60 games. They're not doing 100. There's no way. I'm going to have to go and look. If you know of a channel, post them down below in the comments section, because I would love to check them out. I would love to find out if there's somebody else that's putting out 1, 2, 3 videos a day with new games for you guys every single day. If there's another channel like that out there, you let me know who it is, because I would love to hear them. I would love to see them. I want to make sure I check out what they're doing. I would love to hear it. Again, I'm not saying that I'm doing anything better than anybody else. I'm just saying I'm doing it differently than everyone else. I'm not saying if you play one game and you play it 100 times in a year, there is nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I am saying I'm doing it differently than somebody else. So I have next year, when we do our top 100 games of all time, I have a huge variety of games to choose from, because I've now played 120 or 110 or 115 or 150 new games. And I'm sure some of those games are going to make it in the list. So that's all I'm doing. If you play one game and you play it 10 times a year, if you play 5 games and you play each one of those twice, that's fine. You play it how you want to play your games. I'm not saying I'm special or I'm doing anything unique. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do play just as much as me, but they play either offline or they play more scenarios of the same game more times. I'm just doing it slightly different. I'm doing it in what is it called? It's called quantity over quality. Let's put it that way, right? So there's a lot of channels out there that give you a lot of great quality. Look at Rough Swordsman. He puts out like one video a month, if that. But it's a great video. It's great content with great production and great quality. He puts out one video, but it's done great. So if you like that, then make sure you head over to Rough Swordsman and give him a like and a subscribe and let him know what a great job he's doing. Anyways, that was October. We got November coming up in 26 minutes. Thanks everyone for watching. Leave a comment down below if there's some game you want me to add next month, or if there's a question you want to ask me. Leave it down below in the comments section, and I will talk about it at the end of November. And we'll have a segment talking about any questions that the viewership has. So anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time.